Hello. Today we're going to talk about the Bauhaus. Bauhaus was a school that was the merger of a trade school and a fine arts school that started in 1919 and lasted until the late 30s, well, before it was shut down by the Nazis. It moved 3 times, and it's quite famous now because of the people who taught there, as well as some students. Most of the student body wasn't able to kind of make a great career out of their experience, because a lot of them either suffered because of the war or just never managed economically to kind of make something happen in Germany at the time. A lot of books exist on the Bauhaus. I have 2. A lot of the books that exist do tend to sort of paint a super positive and incredible picture. I prefer the ones that go into more detail. So this one here is Spirit of the Bauhaus. This came out last year. And this takes apart and really kind of deconstructs the whole program of the Bauhaus, course by course. So you'll both see the work that was made. This is the pottery workshop, for example. But you'll also get the context around who taught when and why did they teach there, and who got into a fight with who, and all of the sort of human texture, which I think is very important. You'll also see some of the human texture includes, children who were born in the Bauhaus because students slept with each other, and who ended up being more successful because they stole whose work. And again, these are very human stories, and it was a very human place beyond the work itself. Some also beautiful imagery of people just living their life in that time when things were actually not economically particularly secure, but they were still able to kind of make a lot of really interesting work happen. So I like the historic texture of this book. The second book that I have is called Memories of Bauhaus People, which are interviews of people who studied, who taught, who were associated in one way, shape, or form with the Bauhaus. And again, a lot of very personal stories. Marianne Brandt, for example, who was one of the more renowned metal workers and one of the few women to actually make it into the metal workshop, she talks about lending money to people all the time. And I think it's a really, again, super interesting to go behind the myth and the mythology of a particular place, and to see actually what the real stories are. So enjoy.